Finally, The Rock says, drivers, start your engine!
So The Rock says, you ready to start your engines? WrestleMania season's up. Monday Night Raw. That was The Rock saying something. That was The Rock hyping up the Daytona 500 race. And I don't even know races anymore. I used to follow that a little bit. Like Jeff Gordon. You know, those guys. Jimmy Johnson. Now I don't even know who the hell drives. I just know a number 24 one, which is pretty cool because 24 is my lucky number. For all those that know me. Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna just start very quickly. Keep it short. They started the show with Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, and it was a good match. And then, you know what happened. We all know what happened. I'm not celebrating. I'm just saying we all know what was about to happen. Messages are being sent. Shots are being fired from the bloodline to Cody, letting him know we're going to make sure we're not going to let you win this world title now. Your people wanted this whole story to end or whatever, which way you want to look at it. Man, your story's about to end now. Jimmy Uso starts running to the ring as he's about to finish this match. He's on a roll right now. And then Cody, obviously deflects and, does what he has to do to not let him in. And then he's about to give Drew McIntyre Crossroads against the ropes. And some person with the black hoodie shows up and catches Cody again. Second year in a row with the Samoan spike. Now, the best part about that is not that Cody received the Samoan spike. The best part about it was Drew McIntyre turned around and he looked at the guy that fucked up his match last year when he showed up for the first time at the main roster. And that look that Drew McIntyre had a pissed off look like, man, I know who you are. I know you're the one that messed up my match last year. But at this moment, since I'm not a good guy no more, I'm just a bad guy, I'll accept it for now. What do? You know what he did? He kicked Cody so hard. If I'm right, I think I saw Cody do a front flip. That's how hard it was. Even more amazing, what you don't see, which we haven't seen since when he lost to Roman. Oh, no, wait. Maybe against Brock, right? Did he lose against Brock one time? Maybe, right? I think so. Rare L for Cody, which we know what that means. He won't take another L for a long time. That was last year. He took an L. He got the pin. Drew McIntyre won. Thanks to the bloodline. And then as they're walking back, as the bloodline's walking back, Jimmy does his whole little, trying to give a 5 to someone. He's trying to give a 5 and he's left hanging again by Solo the whole time. Solo's too busy looking at his, his Samoan thumb. The spike, taped up hand, taped up thumb. While this guy's just trying to just give him a high five or, a hand, a dap. He's just left there hanging. All right, so that's it. Miz, R-Truth, DIY. Good 8-man tag match against the Judgment Day. Priest, Finn Balor, whatever his name is. Dominic. And the only thing I could say, it was a good match. Tommaso Ciampa's a machine. They need to, like, do something about him too. Push him. As good as he was in NXT, they need to do something about him. And R-Truth is just ageless. I don't understand how this guy moves at 52 the way he is. It's amazing. The moves he does, the scissor kick, the energy he brings. They lost because Damian Priest, raised him up so high in the air and just slammed him. Then the guys tried to rescue him, but they were too late. They couldn't, they were being held back by the guys, so that was it. Welcome back, Raquel Rodriguez. She won in the Women's Battle Royal for the last chance women to enter the Elimination Chamber. So she'll be headed to Australia for this weekend's event. And it's it for now. Oh, right, man. Damn. The Claymore from hell. Going back to that on Cody. Front flipped. Bloodline's in effect tonight. Jey Uso is fighting Gunther for that Intercontinental belt, and Gunther keeps in streak. Jimmy had to show up. Boy. Oh, Jimmy. It would have been nice to, who is going to be next for Gunther? I'm trying to figure that out. Who is, the opponent? Now we're getting it clear now. WrestleMania's on the way, since you don't have the Elimination Chamber match. And Jay's not a part of it. Jimmy's not a part of it. Of course, it makes no sense, but it would have been different. It's very clear now that due to Jimmy distracting and kind of costing him the match. Well, basically, it did cost him the match because Jay did the splash. Had the pin. Referee was in a 2 count and the bell was ringing and it's Jimmy with the hoodie on. We already know where this is going. Jay versus Jimmy in WrestleMania. That was the obvious already situation from going back to last year. It was in the end that they went across roads at some point. And it had to be to the boiling point that, Jay's just exhausted and has to take care of business with him. No Seth Rollins in this Raw. Not that I noticed. Yeah, again, it just makes me wonder who's up for Gunther. I think it would have been better if they had like a high stakes battle between, Jay winning the IC belt, overcoming the odds, and then maybe Jimmy getting involved and saying, hey, you know what? Have a title on the line to make it something worthy. Kind of bloodline in a way, but at the same time, the guy who's against the bloodline in Jay. Gunther's really good anyway, but it just makes me wonder who will be the guy, because he's gone through basically a lot of guys, just like Roman has. And I thought that would have been good. If he would have gone to win and then had Jimmy go in and attack him, celebration, during a celebration. But hey, that's how they write it. I think there would have been a little bit of higher stakes and then just making like a brother versus brother battle, which it looks like it's going in that direction. And it looks like the bloodline is, they're doing their thing tonight. Cost Cody a match. Cost Jay a match. Solo, Jimmy, all over the place tonight. Nia Jax attacks all the women who were trying to hype up the Elimination Chamber. Crushes them. It's going to be interesting. Where this goes after this week. That's it, which should be like, full match mode at that point. Start announcing matches now, which is going to be what, and who's going to be what, who's going to do what, just to get the event hyped up even more. That's those, and that's one of the things I miss from the prior times is that, you would have matches announced already by now. But again, you have one, but again, a good amount of matches, not just like, one here and there. Yeah, man, that was it for Raw. I mean, I'm not sure what else. It's there, the whole thing is going on is that they're going to make it impossible for Cody. They're going to get involved in whatever he's involved in and go from there. We want to see what Cody says next week. I want to see what Seth says next week as well. By then he'll have an opponent. Will he have enough time to really help Cody out? I mean, you have a title match as well. You can't be there for all of them. And well again, if you're Seth and you say I have your back, where were you tonight? Not trying to say that, set up any drama or anything, but hey, I guess whatever. Next week we'll see how that goes. If he gets involved, at some point it's going to be that he's going to get involved again and help Cody out. Because, Cody can't do it alone, and this week proved it that he couldn't do it alone, and that was with just Solo. What happens when you have The Rock involved, right? I think I'm breaking a record tonight for this podcast. I had to do that little introduction at the beginning with The Rock because The Rock's everywhere. Like I said, the ultimate hype man. Daytona 500. It was rained out apparently yesterday and The Rock stayed. The Rock's a go-to guy. He really is. The guy stays. He stayed there in Florida to do just that one announcement. Question is, how much do they pay him just to do that? But, guy's loyal. The guy's good. And he's very reliable. So that's a great thing about him. For anybody, just to prolong this, enjoy the heel Rock. Like I said. The same way I said a couple of podcasts ago. Enjoy the version of The Rock that insults you. And the funny thing is that people love it. They like him as a good guy. They like him as a bad guy. It's almost like he's the anti-hero. And again, we don't know where the story's going. For now, he's a part of the bloodline. Does he pay attention to anything that's happening with Jim, with Jay? Does he have any say in that? Those are the little things, the little details I wish I could think about and, wonder. But again, since the Cody situation, went way over everything else, that makes it a Cody situation now. Cody's the problem. So there it is. And The Rock is focused on that. There was not much more. Like I said, Raw was good. It's leading slowly, hyping up, this week, this Saturday's Elimination Chamber. We have our matches already. At the same time, the other thing I'm wondering too is who will win the tag belts from Judgment Day. I have that feeling that Damian is just being held back. And I don't want to see The Miz and R-Truth battle them out for that. If you really want to affect the Judgment Day, have R-Truth be the one that causes Damian his Money in the Bank briefcase. Not taken or anything. Just whenever he's going to cash in, let him cash it in, but be involved or get in. If you really want to screw them over, have that. Because I want to see Damian Priest go back into singles action. I think this tag team thing is holding them back. And it's, I guess, whatever, the whole unity thing. But it just, so you have two tag teams in a way? In a way. You have JD McDonough, Tom and Nick, Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Damian. And then, of course, if you think about it, you notice how Rhea Ripley's not really kind of like she's being, she's a part of it, but she's too focused on her own stuff. which is good because after a while it was getting a little boring. And, you don't need her in the Judgment Day anymore. Let her do her own thing. She has enough problems and those guys can't help her out with those problems. So I like that. At least that's kind of, you're not seeing like too much of them hanging out. I mean, she's going to have a problem with Nia Jackson. Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber is going to be a good match, regardless who it is. I will say this much. I don't think it'll be Raquel. Any of the other girls will be good, though. Any of the other ones will be fine. Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, who else? Becky, Bianca. Of course, Raquel's in it, but I wouldn't mind seeing Liv Morgan win. I know the prediction is Becky will be the one. It makes sense because she has this book coming out, the hype with the book. I get that. So it'll probably be her, and she's a bigger name right now. A lot of fans love her, so that's great. Was a tag team match? I think it's Strong Boy and Pete Dunne. If I'm right, yeah, they're the ones going to Australia. That would be nice. That would even be great if you have R-Truth just show up out of nowhere, which I would hope he's there. Just involve him and then cost him the tag team belts. Make it some upset to have like a fresh team, something different. You have so many tag teams now that are like, I would even, it would have been great if they had the Creed brothers just win the belts. That would have been great. And again, now you have Braun Breaker and SmackDown. Tag team champion now with NXT, with Baron, the Wolf Dogs. Do you have them be a part of something now? Like be involved? Like I say, there's so many different ways you can go with it. Again, I'm just throwing random opinions out there. Those are just things I would like to see. We all have our things that we would like to see. I'm just trying to throw something fresh out there, something different. Anyway, that's the podcast. Very short. There was not much to say. I just watched these very quick videos of the highlights of what happened, and looks like it was an okay night. I'm sure there was other stuff that I didn't see, but the key thing, they did start the show with the great match, though, with Drew and Cody. Cody's roads are only going to get bumpier along the way, but when you see those types of things, it's basically the reverse result's going to happen. So expect him to win. And if not, I don't know what you fans are going to do then if his story doesn't finish with Roman. It's looking as if that mountain is becoming higher and higher. And if we can even take care of Drew McIntyre with Solo and Jimmy, and The Rock meanwhile says, hey, I'm going to make sure that you don't get your chance and you don't finish your story. Goodness. The wolves were out tonight for him after that. The Rock called him from, NASCAR, told Solo and Jimmy, guys, I need you guys to take care of business for me. Who said Roman? Nah. The Rock said that, oh, okay. Yeah, we gonna do it. And Jimmy's down for anything these days, so whatever. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for choosing and checking out the podcast. I'm a little tired, so again, always dedicate my shows, dedicate to my friends, family, wrestling fans, anybody who listens. I greatly appreciate all you listen again. Amazon, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google, Deezer, and a whole bunch of other apps that are affiliated with Apple. All right, leave feedback on the YouTube. I could see it usually there. And my YouTube, which is E-24G. Also Buzzsprout, I'm on there too. And yeah, thank you again. I'll see you guys probably in a couple of days. I'll talk about other stuff too.
Ooh, yeah. That baby. Ooh, yeah. What you mean? Ooh, WrestleMania. Yeah. Drop a elbow dropping. Oh, God. See, the girl ain't got shit